How's it going? Necrotic Nick with Thralls of Metal here again, and we're going to do another collection update because I'm bored and I've bought some more shit. So let's get started. Corpsesed, Abysmal Thresholds. Been recently getting into these guys, and I fucking love them. Very just death, doomy, almost kind of incantation-y death metal. I love this shit. I can't wait to get their new album, which should be coming in soon at the record store. I kind of ordered it a little bit late. I think it was actually out last year across the pond, but you know, whatever. This is on Dark Descent. Incredible sound. Like, this sounds so murky and dense in all the right ways. Very well produced. Like, they definitely got that killer fucking old school death metal sound. And like I said, like a lot of doomy passages too, which really just bring out the real nastiness of this shit. I'd love to see these guys live. I imagine it's not going to be too far removed from this album, and I can't wait to hear more from them. Inculter. This is Fatal Visions on Edge Circle Productions. Straight up thrash metal. Very like late 80s feel. Like kind of reminds me of Sodom, like circa Agent Orange, or Sepultura around Schizophrenia. Really just good shit. Well written stuff. Keeps a fast pace throughout. There really isn't a lot of mid-tempo material on here, but if you like really fast thrash, this is really good stuff. Can't remember where these guys are from. I know two of the guys here are pretty much wearing Christmas sweaters underneath their leather jackets, though, so that makes it far more metal. Really good stuff. It's a new band out there. This came out this year. I really enjoyed this release. Yeah, I'd like to hear more from them. This is really good shit. Path of Rot and Ruin. I've been jamming the shit out of this album. This is an awesome balance between like more progressive death metal, I guess you'd call it, like Rivers of Nile or Black Crown Initiate, and then a lot of old school death metal, like more along the lines of Bloodbath, and maybe even some Hypocrisy, mellow death in there too. Really good stuff. I love the production on it. Lots of cool dissonant riffing on this. Really good vocals, except the clean vocals sound a little too processed. Like there's too many vocal filters and layering on it. They don't really sound very natural. But I'm curious how they do that live. If they actually can replicate close to that sound live, then, you know, hey, it's a watch, because the songs on this are incredible. This is their first album. It's on Willowtip, which, awesome label. And, yeah, they're from New Jersey, which, honestly, when I listened to this, I figured they were from Europe, because it has a very European death metal sound. This isn't what I would expect from New Jersey at all. I'm not knocking the state. It's just this doesn't sound like it came from the States at all, really. But that's cool, because it shows that, you know, the U.S. is kind of growing and starting to bring in other influences in death metal. We're not pretty much still stuck on the Tampa stuff or New York stuff or metalcore. We're doing some different things. Cool shit. I fucking love this album. Alright, I'm just gonna hold up both of these. Saw Zeal and Ardor open for Baroness and Death Heaven. Still not a fan of those guys. Probably why I can't say their name right. Finally got their albums. Holy shit, they're incredible. Not as incredible as they are live, but they're really good. This one definitely sounds like this was all the main frontman on this. I can't remember his name right now, but it's very raw. You can definitely tell, like, I think he did pretty much everything on this. I think the drums sound like a drum machine on this. I love the narrative on here, especially, you know, title track Devil Is Fine. The whole story on this is really interesting, and you know, it's just really good. Like, this is a really imaginative album, combining slave music and black metal and creating something very fresh and very new is interesting. I'm really stuck on this. The vocal passages are very catchy, good choruses, very chanty, which lends itself to both styles there. This one is definitely far more polished. I really dig this one, especially Gravedigger's chant. Ship on Fire is incredible on here. You Ain't Coming Back. This is like a far more full sound. This was closer to what I saw live, and it's incredible. Just jam these albums. You honestly won't hear anything else like this right now. They're absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to hear more stuff from them. Master. On the seventh day, God created Master. This also includes the Specman project, the frontman of Master, did another project in that same year, which I think was okay. It was more or less just feels kind of like leftovers from this album's sessions, because this album is absolutely incredible. This is the reissue that came out in 2018, maybe 2017 on Hammerheart. And they did a great job mastering this. It doesn't lose any of the grittiness of the original sound. Very much in the vein of thrashy, old school death metal. This came out in 1991, and 1991 was quite a year for death metal. So many important releases. This one kind of flies on the radar for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of awesome releases, but this is great. Like, especially if you're a fan of like early Death or Autopsy, just jam this band. If you already know Master, you know how fucking awesome this album is. I fucking love it, and I've been jamming the shit out of it, and I can't wait to get more Master. Craft. Fuck the Universe. Fucking awesome title for an album, and Jesus Christ, it sounds like they fucking mean it. This is an awesome black metal band I got into whenever Void came out. That was the first album I bought by them, and I really fucking enjoyed it. And I saw this that Season of Mist was reissuing their one from 2005, Fuck the Universe. Like, I haven't got that one yet. I've heard nothing but good things, and I've jammed it, and I love it. This is an incredible album, start to finish. It even includes some like early demos or rehearsal demos from 1999 on there. Really cool raw sound. So if you want something even rawer than the album, which pretty awesome. I like the fact that they have a real thrashy guitar tone on here. It really rings out. It doesn't have that old DIY feel from like, you know, early Dark Throne or Mayhem. This one sounds particularly well produced and crunchy. And I just dig it. Like, all these songs pack just hostility. And you can just tell that they hate the entire universe. That fucking kills it right here. If you've never heard Craft, this is a great album to start with. I fucking highly recommend it. Just jam the shit out of it. After the Burial, Evergreen. This is a pretty decent release from them. I like it for the most part. There's some songs that get overly repetitive. I think I might have to do more with the fact that I'm kind of getting out of gent, and these guys still really hang on to that, like gent and kind of metalcore-ish. There are some really cool lead parts in this I was really surprised by. Like, they kind of brought back some thrashiness in certain songs and brought forth a lot of killer lead work on here. I thought it was really good, really catchy and melodic. But like I said, there are certain songs in here that just got really repetitive, and you know, it just kind of just repeating that same genty riff, you know, the ones and zeros and shit, and it just didn't stick with me. I found myself like almost kind of nodding off because the song really didn't go anywhere. But like I said, there are some good songs, and you know, this is just my opinion. Jam it for yourself. If you're still a big gent fan, I'd say definitely check this one out. You know, jam it. If not, you know, you probably already heard it. These guys are reasonably popular anyway. But yeah, check it out. It's not bad. I'm just not the biggest fan of it anymore. Ringworm. Death Becomes My Voice. That is an accurate description of Human Furnace's voice on this. That's the name of their frontman, if you're not familiar with Ringworm. They're a hardcore / metalcore band from Cleveland, and this album fucking rips. Definitely reminds me of, I'd say, like, Sick of It All meets The Haunted. Really just nasty, biting hardcore, and then you get bits of, I would almost call it mellow death. Kurt Bellew did the production on this album, who, you know, guitarist for Converge, does all the production for them. He's done work with a fuck ton of bands. I think Trap Them, Darkest Hour, to name a couple there. And he loves that real dense, grating production. My only issue is the vocals are a little one note. I mean, as good as the delivery is, you know, it's straight in your face, exactly what you want from a hardcore vocalist, but the music shows a little bit more adventurousness, and I think he, didn't as much. And it kind of has a similar filter across the entire performance, which, it just gets a little monotonous on that side, but it doesn't take away anything from the intensity of the songs on this. This is a fucking great album. This is honestly one of my favorites in their discography, and they have a pretty impressive one. Check it out. It's on Relapse Records. Really fucking good. And this is the last one here. We have Sins of the Damned, Striking the Bell of Death. This is an awesome mix of thrash metal and kind of traditional heavy metal, and maybe just a touch of death. It kind of reminds me of a band like Deceased, who really blends that sound particularly well, without the interesting storytelling that King Valley gets into, unfortunately, because he's really good at that. This is very much of that same vein. The songs are really punchy, really thrashy, very, like guitar driven, lots of cool lead melodies. So, I mean, if you're into, like just straight up thrash metal, and then you want to hear some tasteful leads a la like Iron Maiden, Angel Witch, shit like that, this really packs both of those. And the vocals kind of a little bit closer to death metal sometimes. But all in all, great songwriting on this. This came out on Shadow Kingdom this year, I believe. And it's a killer release. Starting to really get into the stuff that comes out on Shadow Kingdom. They have a lot of cool trad metal on there. And looks like they have some thrash too. Definitely gonna check out more from this band for sure. I really dug this release. And yeah, well, just check it out, form your own opinion. Alright, well, that does it for this collection update. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, sub. We do stuff like this all the time. And I will catch you later.